Welcome to, or welcome back to, Total Spotfest. This is JJ Brownlee. That is Jamie Faulkner. We are back at you here. Another jam-packed week full of wrestling action. We're going to get to it. Bunch of things going on. Bunch of things coming up. It's nearing the end of October, Jamie. Are you doing okay?
You know, I'm really looking forward to the payoff of Halloween. It's gonna be fun at my house.
It's gonna be fun. You guys doing now? Your neighborhood's got a lot of kids and stuff. Do you guys have like neighborhood trick or treaters and stuff, or do you do like the trunk or treat thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we just did a trick or treat thing last night, and we are having our usual trick or treaters. I have procured a few things in order to scare the children, so it should be fun. Typically, if they're under the age of roughly 10, I'll leave them alone.
Okay.
But if they're, and that's like judgment. Like if they seem tall enough, I'm trying to make them pee themselves.
So if there's a 6-year-old with a pituitary disorder, they're SOL.
Yeah, if they're like 4'5", yeah, goodbye.
Yep. For the reference here, of course, is that Jamie is basically the Dunphys from Modern Family when it comes to Halloween. It's like you got to go all out. So.
Well, and see, like, so Jen wanted to go modest up front. I'm like, that's a great idea. Like, we'll just keep it very simple, very small out front. And then I will be in our backyard with my fake chainsaw and my new pig mask. And I'm wearing the clear overalls, and we got fake blood. I'm just going to have it covered in blood. I'm going to be just running up and down with my fake chainsaw, scaring kids. Because it's really dark back there too, so it's very easy.
Super dark.
A couple trees.
Super dark. There's a light post, but it's across the way from his house. So it's like his backyard is actually really dark. Neighbor behind him is fine, right? But it's like a little black hole you got in your subdivision there.
Perfect.
My neighborhood doesn't really get that. Like we have there's a few kids that live around this area, but it's kind of good mix. There's like younger families with like babies and stuff, whatever. But I don't know. On my side of town, up north of the river, it feels like, at least in Gladstone where I live, that there's not really a lot of like street traffic for trick or treating. You know,
we get tons.
Yeah. So. It is what it is. Supposed to go to a Halloween party this past Saturday, but I even went out and bought a lazy ass costume for it, and then
you wore your lion hat again.
I'm sorry, that's a bit costume. I'm not gonna wear it without you, Jamie. All right,
I appreciate you.
But I ended up, I couldn't go because I got my COVID booster on Friday, and I hadn't had any problems the first week. Well, one of them I had a little bit, some chills when I went to bed, whatever. This one kicked my butt. I woke up with a fever and chills, and I called my buddy. I was like, I'm not making it. By that evening, my fever broke and I was fine, right? So everything's good, everything's that, but. Kind of disappointed. I actually did the effort of going to 3 different Targets to get the pieces for this, and it was like the simplest lazy costume. It was a new Batman t-shirt and a Funko Pop Batman mask, right?
Perfect.
I was going to be Funko Batman. Boom. Let's go. Right? Well.
That's an easy one.
Well, we are approaching the end of spooky season. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining us. We do appreciate you giving us some of your time. If it's your first time watching it here, this is a wrestling podcast. I promise we're going to get into that. You definitely can join the conversation. Drop a comment down below if you're watching us on YouTube. Like, subscribe while you're down there. It definitely helps us out. And if not, you can always hit us up on Twitter at Total Spotfest. So, we are going to a wrestling show this coming Sunday, Jamie.
We absolutely are, man. I'm excited. Going to St. Louis, our first ever St. Louis wrestling trip. Which is hopefully one of many.
Which is amazing because we've been teasing it for a long time. We even planned a few here and there. Just things fall through, right? But especially now, Journey Pro's gone under. Going to have a farewell show in December, but they're going the way of the dodo bird, unfortunately. We don't really have that opportunity. CSW is fine, but they do bi-monthly shows, so it's just we got to get some live shows in us, and Glory Pro is doing a matinee Sunday show, which they've moved to do quite often. So I'm excited for that. We're going with our friend Robin. It's going to be a good old time. 3:00 bell time. You can actually watch it on fight.tv, I found out. It's like $5, right?
Perfect.
And the card is pretty stellar.
Pretty stellar.
Jamie asked me about this at first, and I'm like, I wouldn't mind going to a St. Louis show. I don't know if that would be. And he goes, well, here's who's going to be there. Like, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, nothing more. Now, unfortunately, one of our favorites, Maxie Impaler, recently came down with a minor case of COVID. So she's out of commission for the next couple of weeks here from promotions, unfortunately. They were supposed to be Wasteland War Party going up against Rohit. Oh, sorry. Let me make sure I
Rohit Raju.
Yeah, okay. All right.
And Karam.
Yeah, the names change so often. So Karam and Rohit Raju, right? So they did some shuffling, and they took Karam and Rohit and put it in an existing tag match that was on the card already. It's now going to be a triple threat. So it's Karam and Rohit versus Grindhouse, which is Flitchett and Anakin Murphy is what's being billed as, which I find interesting, right? But okay. Versus Bussy, or as Effie likes to call them, Bossy, because this is the matinee PG version of Bussy. Alley Catch and Effie.
Still gonna be great.
It makes it even better. Let's be honest. Drive to St. Louis, see Alley Catch and Effie every fucking time, right? Let's go.
Yeah, Shaza McKenzie's gonna be there too.
Shaz is gonna be there. Heidi Howitzer, our good friend, is gonna be there as well. She's now, because since the War Parties match got scrapped a little bit and redid, she's gonna be in a triple threat versus Blair Onyx and Heather Reckless. Now we've seen Blair Onyx. I don't know if I can't remember seeing Heather Reckless live.
I've never seen her live. I've seen her on Fight and other things. I think she was at GCW when one of the GCWs when we were there, but she was at the 3-Cup stuff that we were at.
Okay, all right, yeah. Because I was like, I've definitely am familiar with her. I've seen her a lot. Follow her on Twitter and all that stuff. Follow everybody on Twitter that I'm mentioning here for one. But yeah, so that's gonna be a triple threat women's match. That's gonna be good. There's gonna be a lot of good local wrestlers as well too. You've got some guys that we've seen before, Moses, ATM, and then Benjamin Trust, the St. Louis wrestler. He's actually built out of Grandal Wrestling, going up against Crash Jackson, who we last saw in Iowa. Shota, who I don't remember seeing live, and
I don't think I've ever seen Shota.
I can't remember seeing Shota live, and GPA. So
good old GPA,
nice 6-man tag for that.
Right there, right behind me. GPA.
He's got him right there. And then we got Rahim De La Suede, who I've seen on twitch.tv/Journey to Anarchy and St. Louis Anarchy quite a bit. But he's going up one-on-one against Tootie Lynn. It's been a while since we've seen Tootie Lynn, so this will be good too.
Love some Tootie.
Oh, Tootie's so good stuff. Jake Something's going to be there, going up against Ethan Price.
What's his name?
Something.
Yeah. Bro needs a new gimmick. I'm sorry.
I don't hate it nearly as much, but I do like starting to, like throw a little wrench in it. What's my name? Anything. What's my name?
Yeah, nothing.
Everything.
New gimmick.
And like you mentioned, Shaza McKenzie, who we fell in love with at the opening of Agnes for Journey Pro, All Good Things Flow in the City, nights 1 and 2. She's back in the States doing another tour. She's going to be at Glory Pro this Sunday, going up against Lainey Luck.
Pretty awesome. Lainey's amazing.
So just to clarify, that makes 4 matches with women's wrestling in it. straight women's wrestling. We have a triple threat women's match. We have a intergender match, and then there is, of course, Allie catching in the middle of that tag team, conglomerate that we got going on there. So fantastic stuff. Plus, you still have. So for the Crown of Glory Championship, okay, which is their title, it's a 4-corner survival match. Fatal 4-way. Survival match makes me sound like it's an elimination. I don't know. It might just be the name. I might be reading too much into it. But you have Xavier, Mike Outlaw, Camaro, the Quad Father, Action Jackson, and Kenny Alfonso.
Yes.
Our boy Kenny.
Yes.
Oh.
Man.
So, and I'm sure there's more to it. They're probably, cards always subject to change. There's supposed to be more to it. That's those are the main matches that if you troll them on Twitter, that's what they've announced. That's what's out there. That's going to be great. So it's a 2:00 doors, 3:00 bell time. It's going to be fantastic. A little matinee show. Get done by like 6 or so. We get home before news is over. Can't beat it.
And we're gonna get your White Castle.
And we're getting White Castle, and you made mention, and I'm always down for this, but on the way there, because the time that we're leaving, we're looking there like right before, right at the beginning of lunchtime ish to Columbia. We can go by Shakespeare's. That's an easy get.
I'd much rather have Shakespeare's than Emos, and that processed cheese.
Oh, but Emos is so good. It's
processed cheese, bro.
It's
not real cheese.
It is 2 real cheese. It's 2 cheeses. It's provolone
it's 3 cheeses,
and mozzarella done together.
It's actually 3 cheeses.
What's the third cheese?
It is worth a Google. Provolone's not in it. You're going to make me look it up. Provel cheese. Here we go. The ingredients of Provel is a combination of cheddar Swiss and provolone. Cheddar Swiss and provolone.
Okay, so mozzarella I was off on. Okay. So it's 3 cheeses. White cheddar, Swiss, and provolone. That's 3.
Yeah.
Okay. What? Potato. Agree to disagree.
It's processed.
It's delicious. I don't care.
It's like Velveeta. It's like putting Velveeta on a pizza.
I am driving. We can go wherever my car takes us to go. And you can eat there or not. Let's put it that way. Shakespeare's is fantastic. Emos is also fantastic.
Is amazing. Okay. Shakespeare's is amazing.
Shakespeare's
I have to give them super props.
Shakespeare's is anyway. We'll talk all about it. Like I said, we're going to make a whole day out of it. Thankful that it's not one of those 8:00 bell time things, right? So it's going to be good. So anyway, we'll talk next week. We'll let you guys know what we thought about Glory Pro.
Sounds good.
All right. Now every week we like to highlight somebody out there, an independent wrestler. Maybe you've heard of them. Maybe you haven't. Jamie, do you have somebody prepared for this week's Independent Wrestler Spotlight?
I do. I really do.
He does. Okay.
And this one, I feel like it's very good for the season, if you will.
Okay.
It is this Halloween season. And we've been talking a lot about WoW lately, and this person is now on WoW.
Mm-hmm.
But has been everywhere.
Wow.
And she is Dr. Frankenstein meets Mr. Hyde. She's her own monster. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm talking about Holidead. Holidead.
Very good choice.
Figured that would be apropos for the season.
It fits. It fits like a glove. Oh,
Does Mission Pro, lots and lots of Mission Pro.
She's Mission Pro champion.
Wow,
right now.
as you know. Yeah, Mission Pro champ. Like, Holidead is a big effing deal. Crazy in all the good ways.
she's made appearances. I think she's been on AEW of some sort, right?
Yes, she's done AEW. She's done Ring of Honor.
She's done Impact.
Impact, GCW, Shimmer, NWA. She's done them all.
Yeah, she
And
is
now
definitely
she's
a
under
veteran.
contract with Wow.
Wow. Wow. I can't do impressions. That's my best.
Wow. Wow.
See, that's not bad. That's pretty good. I can't do impressions.
Wow.
I'm trying to get that Owen Wilson. But no, I love Holidead. Yeah, her gimmick thing is cool as hell, but I'm just more impressed with her longevity and her staying power, and she never disappoints. Like anytime I see matches of her, and she goes all over the board, right? I've seen her intergender matches with different style, women, and it always tends to be really good matches. Heel face, she's wonderful. So
He's had
very
some
good
great
choice.
matches against Kylan King. Like, dude, she's Max. Her and Max had a banger Ring of Honor, man.
Sure did.
Jesus. So yes, big fan. Check out Holidead. You can follow her on Instagram and on the Twitters, just at Holidead. Pretty simple.
Hey, make it easy. If that's not easy enough, links down below if you're watching us. So
Even easier.
super easy.
Even easier. You know what? If you use the link, give us a like. If you don't use the link, give us a like. It helps.
YouTube, y'all, you got a whore for them likes. I'm sorry, that's the algorithm. Help us out.
Yes.
So
yes, I'm trying to pimp out likes. Let's go.
It's okay. It's okay. That's the most we can pimp out. So I'm good with that. Okay,
that's fair. Pimp out some subscribes too.
So I am wearing orange. I'm gonna get some Jerry Pro. I'm wearing orange here because it is still spooky season, and we've been doing this now for 4 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know.
3. This is
three shows in a row. This is our 4th. And it's the end of October. So let's hope to go out with a bang. So we want spooky season. We're going to talk about some horror movies here. And for those of you not familiar, Jamie's shtick is definitely horror. Jamie is a horror movie aficionado. Let's go with that. Okay.
That's fair.
JJ is not. He is a nerd of a different color. So Jamie thought it'd be funny to try let's talk about some of our favorite horror movies, and then so we've been doing it. I've been keeping up for the most part. I've had a few like softballs I threw in there, but still horror movies all around. So this is our last week. So Jamie, what do you have for this week?
Well, how about this? Like last time, I gave you options. I'm gonna give you options this time, and then you just tell me which one you'd like to do.
Okay.
We could do a cult classic. In my opinion, IMO cult classic.
Okay.
Arguably the scariest movie I've ever seen, and a more recent crazy ass scary movie, but excellent. Also in the same breath.
Okay. You've done some kind of obscure ones past couple, before. I think to go out with a bang, I think I, as well as our viewers, would love to know what the scariest movie for the guy who consumes nothing but consumes everything scary movies would be. What is that movie?
It's the new Monster High show. No, I'm just kidding. No, did watch that movie with my daughters. They made me. It's quasi cute.
It's scary in a different way, y'all.
Yeah, scary in a much different way. No, so I found this movie to be arguably the scariest movie ever. Granted, I think I was like 5 when I saw it, and it still holds there. This is 1982's The Entity. This is based on a true story.
Okay.
And that's the thing about this thing that gets me. A ghost basically traps this woman. I've talked about this movie before.
I've heard you talk about this for sure.
Yeah. So a ghost is like going after Barbara Hershey, and it's just insane. Like there's this bathroom scene like in the book that the lady wrote. She was like trapped in her bathroom for days. Like almost 48 hours, and this ghost would rape her and things like that. And
Ooh.
yeah, it's a tough thing. Like the reality of it. Like they did a really good job of making it intense, but not like grotesque.
Not like
Like
graph Izzy 17 shit, right?
yeah. It's 1982. Like there were some cool like animatronic type things. Like back in the 80s, you know, they were really big on ballooning. I don't know if you ever seen that, like where somebody would like have something and like it balloon out and everything like
Oh
that. Well,
yeah,
they did
yeah.
reverse ballooning
Well, they
for
did the
this thing
fly, yeah.
to make yeah. So they made it look like hands were touching chesticles. You know, and like they did it with the ballooning. It's really cool effects. Like just for the movie alone, like the practical effects of this movie are spot on. But yes,
Chesticles.
arguably the scariest we've ever seen because
Okay.
like the reality around it.
Well, and a lot of times the psychological bit and the realism could be so much scarier than just a big vicious monster, right? Big vicious
You
monster.
can't see them ever.
Yeah. So interesting. Okay. Well,
What do you have, sir?
I have a movie, and I was thinking about this, and I could have done another softball and just pulled out another very well-known title zombie movie, right? I was like, not a bad, but pull out like 28 Days Later or something like that, where it's like, oh yeah, it's a great movie, but of course, right? One of those things,
Yeah. Yeah.
Not gonna do it. So I dug a little deeper. I thought about this, and I looked through my DVD collection. Yes, I actually have physical DVDs and Blu-rays. Get off me, y'all. And I went through that because I was like, just like before, it's like I know I have some in here that, even though I might not think they're like blatant horror movies, whatever, like Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street, they are, right.
Yeah.
You made a good point a few weeks ago about Fight Club. It's like, okay, touche. So I went in there and I found the movie, and it kind of has a zombie thing to it, but it's a lot more than that. It's from 2007. A little movie done by Robert Rodriguez called Planet Terror.
From the Grindhouse. Yeah, that came with Death Proof.
The Grindhouse double feature. Death Proof and Planet Terror.
Death Proof so
Death Proof was good. I loved Planet Terror, though. I loved it to
I
death.
enjoyed Planet Terror, too. I have to give you props.
Rose McGowan with a machine gun for Grindhouse like a motherfucker. Like, campy as shit.
Cherry. Her name was Cherry.
Okay, all right. The actress Rose McGowan. No, but her character, the go-go dancer, gets her leg cut off, so they stick a machine gun on there, which amazingly she could control, right? Because that's normal. And it was great, campy, just ultra bloody fun. I loved it. Loved the hell out of it. That Grindhouse style was great. I'm not a giant like Grindhouse movie fanatic thing, like Tarantino and Rodriguez are, which is why they made these, movies. Mm-hmm. But they both were great. Personally, because I like zombies, right? I like Planet Terror. So, yeah.
It's a fun one. That's a solid one.
Thank you. I want to do this. Uh-huh. You had a couple more there. And because we're not hitting Halloween, so I feel like we're pulling up short before the end zone, maybe a little bit. We're it's like we're playing secondary for the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're almost getting to where we need to get to. It hurts. You had a couple more you wanted to get in there. Let's hear what they are. This is your time of the year. These are yours. This is your thing. You brought me in this, and I met the challenge every week. Let me hear.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me hear what your other movies. Let everybody hear what your other movies were.
All right. So my cult classic that does not get near enough recognition as it should. It is a Wes Craven movie, so I know that's a little, but it's The People Under the Stairs. I freaking love this movie. People Under the Stairs is absolutely amazing. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh my God. It's got Ving Rhames. It's got Mario Van Peebles in it. Like it's just so damn
I love
good.
the way he talks. It's a cult classic movie by Wes Craven, and it's like, have you seen it? Of course, I haven't seen it. I'm not a horror guy.
It's from 1991. Like it's the most 91 movie of all
Oh,
time too.
that's
Like it is just
fantastic. Then okay,
oh yeah. Like basically they're trying to break into this house and find out that because they're trying to steal stuff and find out, oh, this is the wrong house. I shouldn't have tried to break in. And like it
ah,
was just insane. Like it's so good.
okay,
Low key, arguably Wes Craven's best movie. I
interesting.
know that's a bold ass statement.
That's saying quite a lot there. I think you set some ears on fire with that statement, Jamie. Just saying.
Oh man, hey, fight me. Like it could be.
You
Like
guys
it's
can.
definitely in this top 3 or 4.
Yeah,
Minimum top
Jamie's
3.
Twitter handle is over there too. You can holler at him directly if y'all.
Yeah, like I know people are gonna say Nightmare on Elm Street and all that, but I feel
Of
like this
course.
one just gets you because it like those ones were meant to be amazing. Like Scream had the big ass
Mhm.
budget. People Upstairs didn't have dick, and it was amazing.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Just saying. Just saying. All right. And then my relatively newer one. This one's from 2018. Okay. So this is
Hotel
fairly new.
Transylvania. Gotcha. Okay. No.
3. No. So there's a few things in this world that Jamie really enjoys. Blood, guts, all that kind of stuff. Nonsensical talking in movies. And Nicolas Cage. I give you all 3 in the amazing Mandy. That is worth a watch.
Okay.
Mandy is insane. It is just if you are wanting to watch a movie that makes sense, don't watch Mandy.
It's just
If you just want to watch Nick Cage be crazy and just look insane, watch this movie and you'll appreciate it. If you just like Nick Cage just being Nick Cage, this is your movie.
this is the ticket.
Yes.
All right.
So good. So good.
It sounds somewhat familiar. I might have seen a trailer for that.
Like his girlfriend gets taken away from him by like some kind of weird gang and then he goes out and attacks them and like he just is on this blood rage thing in order to find her and there's like there's like tripping. I don't know exactly what's going on. Just weirdness. This is just weird.
There's
A
crazy.
big ass like amazing chrome axe, dude. It's got everything.
Okay.
And again, Nicolas Cage.
Can't go wrong with Cage. That's for sure.
Can't.
Well, fantastic.
Impossible.
That's our movies, y'all. You guys let us know, chime in, join that conversation for sure. Like I know we've been doing this in October for spooky season and whatnot, but like I said, this is a year-round thing for Jamie. Just like my mother, God rest her soul, she used to watch Christmas movies literally all year long. I'm not kidding. She would not leave the TV provider that she had because she couldn't get Hallmark Channel on the one that I was trying to get her on that was cheaper. Like because Jamie's this way with horror movies. So yeah, join in. That's fantastic. So, all right, mission accomplished. Let's get back to wrestling. Okay.
Okay.
So last week we talked about WoW.
We did.
Have you
And WoW's
did you watch
amazing.
WoW this past weekend?
I did. I have decided to make a very big time vested interest in this because like I watched one last Saturday, the previous Saturday, and I'm like, oh, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So then I watched this one, I'm like, oh, this is really good. Like it had a match with a recently interviewed person on our show. It had Tormenta, the Beast, and artist known as Reina Del Rey that was on our show under a different name. But for obvious reasons. But Reina was in there. Excellent match there. They have this girl called Glitch the Gamer.
Yeah, I've seen her.
Amazing gimmick. Great ass gimmick.
I think here's the thing that I really like about WoW. Okay, because I mean, there's definitely some women that we've seen before. We've called them by their outside of WoW names, Sarah the Rebel, there's Raylan, there's Holidead, like there's a bunch, right? Roxy,
Mhm.
or Ruby Rays, like there's a bunch that we know from elsewhere, right?
Not
You know,
Ruby.
no, that doesn't count. I'm sorry, it doesn't.
I know.
If you're talking to
We're
Ruby
not talking about
Soho,
Ruby
hey
Soho.
Ruby, hey Ruby.
Team you up.
I was gonna get there myself, don't worry. But no, it's like
I know.
even with that, even women that we see in women that we're not familiar with, right? It's like the packaging they've done on these gimmicks, I think is fantastic because it's like some of them are very gimmicky, right?
Hmm.
But they're all in on them, which I think is great.
Oh yeah, like they have the Samoan sisters.
Yep.
Those two are absolutely great. They got a girl called Ice Cold. Like she's Sub-Zero Frost. Like she's just like Frost from Mortal
Miss.
Kombat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously you got a soon to be debuting Wrecking Ball. Looking forward to that bad
Who's
boy.
who's wearing who's
Uh,
wearing a white bra and panties and work boots and coming? Oh no, that was Twitter.
yes. That's on Twitter. Yeah, like they got lots of great women. The Beast is this big brute of a woman. She kind of reminds me of Swole with the way she's built, just a
She
little bit
does.
beefier.
She does. I was
Just a
expecting more
little
of like a
beefier.
Max, type of when I first heard this,
Yeah, with
the
the name
Beast, and then,
Beast.
and then I saw her the first time. I go, oh, that's not what I quite was getting, but the it's not necessarily about the optics of it. You don't need like a
Yeah,
extra large person, right? It's the
yeah.
personality behind it. It's wonderful. So
I mean, she's more shredded than Julian Saab, man. But she like she's ripped, for her pleasure. Like it's just like she's just yeah. I said ripped, not ribbed. It
no, I
was
I heard you, but moving on.
anyway. It was a pun. Jeez.
We're still
Anyway,
moving on.
so excellent match between them. You had they're doing a tournament for the tag team championships. The Gigi Gianni and Adriana Gambino. Wonder what they are.
Gee,
Um,
where is that coming
go,
from?
Going against Foxy Fierce and Chantilly Shella. Chantilly Shella. So excellent there. You had Princess Ozzy going against the Disciplinarian and Jesse Jones. Excellent matches. So I'm gonna be watching again. Everybody should be doing the same. Excellent wrestling. Like top tier women's wrestling.
Very
Like
good,
for
good
real.
wrestling
Like
and great storytelling too. That's what I like about it too. So
yes. And the outfits that the ring announcer wears just kind of they pop me a little bit because they're
you just
just
can't
kind
you
of
just
out there.
can't get over that announcer, can
No,
you?
I mean she's great, but like her outfit's like, whew, hey, 20.
She's like the female professional wrestling version of Don Cherry. Any hockey fans know exactly what I'm getting at there. So,
And everybody else, we don't know. It's fine.
who was that guy from the NBA who passed away a couple years ago? The sideline reporter that had beloved by everybody, but had like the ridiculously crazy jackets he always wore.
I don't remember.
Same diff. It's a hockey version of that. Canada. He's
Ah,
he's a little bit of okay. We're gonna move on because he's actually not a great person.
oh,
um,
okay.
sorry. I realized that as I'm like, wait a minute, John Cherry's not a good reference to bring up at 22. Sorry. Wrestling, yes, wrestling. Wow, wrestling. Go check them out. Love it. It's great
Yes.
stuff. I hope they. I mean, I know that they shoot all their stuff in LA, right? But I hope they start doing some pay-per-views or at least a little bit of a road show here and there. That'd be great. I travel a little bit for them. If they come to Chicago, Dallas, St. Louis, something like that. I'd
Yeah.
be down for that
On
for
a
sure.
heartbeat, honestly.
Pay-per-view. Yeah, let's do it. So we'll see. But yeah, their relaunch seems to be going fantastic, and I can't be happier. So before we get in
Agreed.
AEW from last night, a little bit of news that's out and about there. Halloween Havoc happened this past weekend for NXT. They actually had it on a Saturday.
It was nice.
it was good. It was cool. They had Shotzi. It's interesting. You definitely see Triple H pulling out of his bag of old tricks a little bit. And I don't know
Mm.
whether that's for good or bad. You know, they got rid of the whole 2.0 thing for NXT, which is good, right?
Yep.
It still
Yeah.
it still doesn't feel like old NXT because they still have the same set and everything, and they got a lot of the same pieces still in play. But it is what it is. But like for this, like so they had Shotzi, who's on SmackDown, as the MC, like she was when she was in NXT for Halloween Havoc, right?
Yeah.
It's fine. It fits perfectly, but it also is like, okay, but you know, are you just reliving that because that was good when you did it the first time, or is there a reason? Because she's not.
She's perfect for that, man. Like I can't think of anybody else
She
to MC that right now.
she's well, she is. You know, my argument is you don't need an MC for it. You know, but whatever, right?
That's fair.
No belts. Nothing really changed hands at all. You know, there wasn't really a lot of that going on there. I know that also in NXT this past week, The Rock's daughter made her debut
Yes, that's a big deal. That is actually a huge deal
as a massive deal. So
because not only is she the Rock's daughter, sh she's effectively, as far as I know, the first fourth generation wrestler to appear on WWE.
I believe that's correct. I don't know 100%. You know, if that, I'm thinking about some of the hearts out there, right? You know, because that bloodline does go pretty deep. But yeah,
Not in WWE though. I don't know,
I think you're
man.
right. Yeah. So regardless, yeah. I mean, she debuted
Four
with
generations.
in a stable, but still made her debut. So hey, big things going on.
Yeah, she's
Um,
Alex Rain, and not obviously
Eventually she will be.
Rock's daughter. She's not gonna be or Ava Rain. Sorry, Ava Rain.
There'll be, yeah, that won't stay that way forever. I'm sorry. It's just not going to. If she stays in wrestling for the long haul, eventually there's going to be some sort of name rebrandage happening there.
Yeah, and then like when she's ready, Bloodline.
Or before she makes even ready. I
I don't
mean,
know. I'm kind of digging what they did with her. Like I like the one black eye, one red eye. And she's a part of Joe Gacy's
I
little
think it's
thing.
smarter to let her cut her teeth a little bit. They did that with Solo
Eh,
Sika. I think he could have used more.
Yeah. So is it schism? Are they saying schism or are they actually calling it what it is and it's a schism?
I think they're saying schism.
That drives me effing batty. It's schism.
Oh, like hit bow?
Well, that's just bad, right? This is
It's
just
bad
bad
typography.
pronunciation.
Okay, that's what that is. It's
Yes.
bad typography. It drives me insane. I am sorry. I love the gimmick. It's a money making gimmick, but I cannot get past that horrible. Every other letter is pointing the correct way except for the R. It's curled the other way. It looks like a goddamn B, and it drives me nuts. I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
I
It's
haven't.
okay.
Have you been following along with much WWE stuff though?
Okay.
It's fine. Be honest.
I'm watching Fridays. I'm not watching Mondays
Oh,
yet.
really?
I'm watching Fridays. I'm watching Fridays.
I
I
peek
have
in on
Fridays on.
Mondays from time to time. I don't watch a
Yeah,
lot of
it's
it, but I'll kind of peek in from here and there, tops and bottoms of hours. This kind of thing is like I know when they're going to have like a. They're still predictable, so I know when the good matches are going to be, right? So I'll peek in there, right? I did get to see Rhea Ripley body slam Luke Gallows on live TV. That was cool.
that is cool.
Rhea
I'm
Ripley.
kind of in on that.
Rhea Ripley's having the time of her life right now, man. I tell you what.
Dude, she's looking great. No, like I've been watching Fridays because I really want to see what happens with Bray. Like he's really piqued
Mhm.
my curiosity. I honestly I am liking what they're doing with the bloodline in some aspects, and some aspects I'm not. Like
It's
I
never
love.
it's never been a bad idea. It's
It's been a
never
great idea, but it's like their execution is still spotty even now. But
I
like it's
know.
not bad though. Like it was terrible before. Like god awful. Granted, I wasn't watching, so this is completely from a
Well,
mindset of I'm right, and not necessarily bound in truth by
mhm.
any stretch of the imagination. It's not bad. Like I like what they're doing with Sammy and Silosuka. Like I like that the whole thing
Right.
between those two. But then like when they interject the Jimmy and Jay on it, I'm like, oh. No, just leave this. Just leave this alone. Because this is great. I know
So
you
the
guys are
actual
good. Just
like
go.
family members part of this family organization are the ones that you don't like.
Well, Sila's their brother.
I hear you. Yes. So I mean, it was a fantastic idea, right? It was well overdue to turn Roman heel, right? Because he needed to be, because everybody fucking hated him, right? You know, they finally did it, and then it got over big because, of course, it did, right? And then they did this whole then the bloodline started, and they did it, and that was wonderful. At the beginning of it, like him and which one was the first one? Was it which one was not injured? Was it Jay or Jimmy? I can't remember which one was first.
Jay was first, then
Jay was
Jimmy.
first because Jimmy had the ACL, right?
Yeah,
So that Hell in a Cell match was emotion. That was ridiculous. One of Roman Reigns' best matches ever. Period.
agreed.
Right? But then they brought him back in, and they did that, and then okay, then it's starting to get stale. Then you had Jimmy, and it's like, oh, but you did the exact same thing you did with Jay. And then it's just like, and then they're just there. They have all the belts they never lose, and they never. Who cares, right? Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit, right? So, but
Yeah.
it's a good storyline. It's just like, I know that Bray has creative freedom under Triple H. I trust
Like
that.
carte blanche. Yeah.
Where are you in this? I don't know if we talked about this. I think we did, about the camp that's like, oh yeah, everybody's so excited. Then he gets in the ring and it all falls apart. Where are you in that?
That's complete and utter bullshit. I'm sorry.
Okay,
Like Bray's a good
I think we
wrestler.
did talk about that.
Yeah, Bray's a good wrestler.
He hasn't actually wrestled yet, has he? He's just been doing promos.
Yeah, he's only done promos. He's building a stable. The stable should be showing up here for too long.
Is he building a stable, or is it the six personas of Bray Wyatt?
Yeah, that's gonna be people.
Okay, so it is going to be actual people. I've heard conflicting theories about that.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Okay, all right. Well, regardless, WWE is getting better. Impact's been doing about the same. Impact has had some recent changes. They have had some people that left. So I know that you had the Kingdom was tag team champions. Took them off. And the Good Brothers, of course, no longer there, right? You know, the Kingdom recently signed officially, like I think just yesterday, as a matter of fact, with that's Maria Kanellis Bennett, Mike Bennett, and I'm Matt Taven. I fucking hate his gimmick. Uh, officially
Hopefully
signed
we
with
get
a. I
a
just
little change.
sorry. It's like the it's the same thing as Jake something, right? Stop saying your
Yeah.
name, wrestlers. Stop saying your own name. Just please. I know who you
Yes.
are. Officially signed with AEW, so they dropped the belts in there.
I heard Impact was pissed that they showed up before their last taping aired on Impact.
Impact was pissed about a couple different things like that, but then again, Impact also is very comfortable being in the spot that they're in, which a lot of talent is not. They're like,
Yeah.
a lot of talent agrees like we say, like you guys, Impact takes very good care of their people while they're there, right?
Yeah.
But they also do a ton of contract work. They don't have a lot of like long-term booked stars, like, and the contracts that they give people are generally short as hell, so they got to continually re-up them. A few of them get longer-term deals. Moose, Josh Alexander, right? Handful of them. Most of them don't have that. Now that gives them the freedom and the flexibility, yes, but they actually really like working for Impact and want to see it do better. And the fact that Impact's owners, Anthem Entertainment, is very content in keeping them basically where they're at. It's like they're on the TV network that we own. It's doing fine. It's not losing us money. It's good. There's like no additional effort to grow from its ownership, and that's driving people mad. So yeah, but then you'll have people who do this that, the Kingdom's like, well, we're going to take this opportunity. We're going to go with it because we can. So they do, and that pisses people off at Impact. And it's like, well, if you were so keen on them, why don't you throw some money at them or something, right? You have money. That's the common misconception, is that Impact has no money. No, they have money. They just don't spend it. It does make it frustrating because it is a good product. There's a lot of good people that work in there that want to see it succeed. I feel if somebody else, Tony Khan, if somebody else owned it, it would be a better promotion. Just saying.
Yeah, and also, I mean, to jump on this Impact thing, Lady Frost is still under contract with them. They haven't released her officially.
No.
And she asked for her release back in August.
Yeah.
Because she hasn't been used since April.
They did. She was on there for I think 3 weeks. Like one round of taping.
Yeah. It was
so,
and she's on an exclusive thing. Like she can't go anywhere else.
Which is the weird thing, because it's like she got a contract, which made me and it made me hopeful for her, but B for okay, maybe they're changing their ways. They're signing people to exclusive contracts. They're going to amp stuff up. No, I don't know. I honestly don't know why they signed her to an exclusive contract, especially now, because it's like the people who get exclusive contracts are like Josh Alexander, and people like that. But I mean, even the biggest stars have some freedom. But I don't know. I don't get it. I still like Impact. I still dig it. It just, I mean, you see some of these behind the scenes shots of people who go to their pay-per-views, and granted, they're not selling out big arenas or anything, but I mean, you're talking like we've seen probably more people at Glory Pro shows than have been at these Impact pay-per-views.
That's accurate.
That's not
unfortunately.
Good. Yeah, very unfortunate. So, you guys let us know. Is Impact worth it? Worth your time? Do you think it would do better under ownership? Do you want to see it succeed? Do you not care one damn bit? Let us know. Give us a shout.
So that's a fair ask.
All right.
I support that ask.
You got anything else, or you want to get into some stuff that happened last night on TBS?
Yeah. Let's get into last night. I want to go over Dog's broken teeth. So, so
we just talked about that. Okay.
Yes.
Go.
Yeah. All right. So last night, I just want to say for the record, there was not a miss on a match at all. Like, all these matches were great. Like, all of them were great.
The women's
match was amazing. Yeah, please.
I don't think there was a miss on the show. They didn't have too many promos. They didn't outpace the promos. The ones they had were good. The ones they had that were campy and meant to be were tiny and short and backstage. I don't think they missed. I think this was if this is every Dynamite, maybe with 2 women's matches, Tony. 2 women's matches, though. We could use 2 fucking women's matches. If this is every Dynamite, we can't lose. It's fantastic.
Yeah. Like, the first match of the night kind of set the tone.
Oh,
which AEW is not usually. They are known for their first match to be an absolute banger every time.
Start with a bang.
At 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, that first match is gonna fuck. And it did. It's Jericho Appreciation Society of Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia going against Claudio and Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. And my God, Claudio's inhuman again. Like, but
Oh
he
yeah,
is like
we
super
knew
strong.
that, but yes,
He
confirmed.
did a swing. He did a swing of Jericho with Dino Garcia on his shoulders. Okay,
The man's nuts. The man is insane.
excellent, excellent, excellent match. And Claudio and Wheeler win. They clean
I mean,
ish.
no, they won. They won clean. They cleaned out the JAS. They won clean.
Mm.
They had a little run-in backstage, with Bryan Danielson, who fought Sammy Guevara later on with another excellent match. I mean, we're not gonna get deep into every single match. Dude, they all were great,
No.
But they dug back into that then backstage, and that was great because they're kind of keeping that little tiff going, and Claudio's now involved trying to be the peacekeeper, and I mean that was all good. Swerving Our Glory FTR for number one contendership, that was fantastic. The women's match was I mean one of the best, probably the best women's match they've had in a few weeks at least.
It was different because we had a new person there.
True.
So I mean, as much as I like seeing Toni Storm on my TV,
and we did get to see
and we
her.
still got her.
She came
Still
out
got
looking
her.
scantily clad and beautiful, and hold the belt up and did all that stuff. But whatever.
Yeah. Which she looks great short hair, by the way. Riho. I got to watch a match with Riho on Dark. If anybody happened to watch that match with her and Jungle Tiona. Excellent match. But this match was excellent. Her and Jamie Hayter were amazing.
Oh
like,
my god.
Jamie got to sell all of her power. Rio got to sell all of her quickness and speed. They look comfortable together. It was beautiful. Like, it was just a symphony of perfection, if you ask me. It was nice. Like, it was just like I was just sitting there like, this is a really good match. And like, Megan's sitting over there on the other couch. I'm like, this is really good. She's like, yeah, it's really good. I'm like, of course I can't go. I mean, what did you think of last week's match? Because she's 16. She doesn't remember last week's match.
No, she doesn't remember what happened on Monday.
So it's just like, okay. But God, like, both of us were taken aback by how good this match truly was.
Well, and Jamie is, the crowd is ready. I mean, I think there's, on second examination, I think they are smart for slower playing her turn and then rise to champion. I get that now. But man, they were into it. And, we talked about Riho a lot, that she tends to be one who, depending on her opponent, it's a hit or a miss for a Riho match, right?
Yeah.
This one was definitely a hit. I don't know if that's maybe just she's gotten more comfortable with everybody, including Jamie, or it's just because Jamie and her click, but this was a hit. This is fantastic.
Jamie and her wrestled in Stardom.
So familiarity. There we go.
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
And I would not be surprised if next Wednesday that they announce Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm for the AEW Women's Championship
At Full Gear.
At Full Gear, and I honestly don't think it'd be a bad idea for them to drop that belt to Jamie, because she is kind of their hottest commodity right now.
I mean, I really don't.
Set up the animosity between her and Britt. It'd be beautiful.
I mean, and we don't know when Thunder Rosa is coming back.
If.
It's an if now?
I mean, you saw the rumors flying, but you never know. You don't know the truth about anything at this point. Like, dirt sheets are just running fucking wild right now.
I know.
Man.
All I heard was her back was the problem.
My neck, my back. I lost my belt.
I mean, but that could mean a vast multitude of things, right? That could be like spinal something or another, or it could be just, who knows, right? So
yeah,
you're with you. I don't know, but
so there's been rumors swirling, and I don't want to necessarily even say them, but I feel like it kind of warrants it. As soon as she found out she's gonna drop the belt to Toni, her back couldn't wait anymore.
Ooh, she has to get fixed. Okay. You know,
I mean, her return will be triumphant. It will. Like,
I don't think it will
people
be.
love them. I love me some Thunder Rosa, but like,
I do too, but she does. Okay, every good that there's bad. There's yin and yang going on here, right? Okay.
yeah,
And as much as we love Thunder Rosa, she definitely, I mean, she definitely has that other side of the coin to her, right? You know, what she did to Marina Shafir. Granted, Marina Shafir was put up into that position way too early. you
yeah,
know, and crowd did not respond to her, but she still no sold her and, sandbagged her terribly on TV, You look at some of the past stuff, her history with Evilise, right? And we chalked that up to Evilise, that she had problems. She get fired from every promotion she'd been in, this and that. But I mean, Thunder Rosa seems to be in the middle of all these situations.
yeah. It's kind of like Sammy.
It is, exactly. And I love Thunder Rosa. I think she's a great person, but I also think that she also, on the other hand, can be a bit opinionated and bitter about some stuff. Because remember, she was going to sign with WWE to be a referee.
Yeah.
So she has actually been in the game for longer than a lot of top competitors around her same, in her demographic, age-wise. So there could be some bitterness there to that, and I think it shows a little bit. And that's not wrong, but I don't know. We'll see what actually happens.
Yeah.
I like your idea of dropping the belt to Jamie, though.
I think it'd be great, and then you could have Thunder come back, if she's ready. But then, like, because you have Britt and Saraya kind of getting at each other, so
Right.
that gets her away. So I like this idea. I think it makes a lot of sense. Hopefully, all this bull crap about Thunder is not true. I'm really hoping it, and she comes back when she's healed, and we have a huge blow off. Everything be great.
Because
Or
you don't need Tony to have the belt to have Tony on the fucking marquee, or you sell tickets, or
no.
and they've got now with the whole Nyla Rose, internet champion Nyla Rose. God, I love Nyla Rose.
Yeah, it's internet champion
Her
and
and
TBS champion.
rightfully her and Jade Cargill, with their thing going on. Right, you've got Athena somewhere on that, so you basically have you've started to make divisions, right? You started to make this thing, which is good because you need to have that clear defining line. If everybody's everybody, who's challenging for what, right? It's not like the olden days
Agreed.
where you clearly knew who were world champion competitors, who was an intercontinental champion competitor, and who was not, right?
Yeah.
It's not like that now. It's like it's too fluid. So I think I like that because you have you got Saraya, whatever, but you got Britt Baker, her stable, Jamie, Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, all in this world over here. You've got Jade Cargill and the baddies, Nyla, Athena, Marina Shafir, Willow Nightingale. Congratulations on being all elite, Willow. All over
Well
in
deserved.
TBS world, So anyway, some division is good. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree. So after this match, so something very cryptic happened.
After the first match, I was going to save that to the
Yeah,
end.
sorry,
Actually,
after the first match. So yeah, I wanted to talk about this now because I feel like it's a nice little break before we get into the rest of it.
okay, let's go for it. It was after It was after the first match. Is when after
The
the backstage segment after the first match.
yeah,
Excuse me.
of Wheeler and all them, they're gonna talk about things after the match.
Right.
But so there's a vignette of the Elite, like, because there's reports that their return is imminent now. And it shows them kind of getting Thanos'd out, disappearing. All of them disappear, including Hanger. Do you notice that Hanger was in that first one too?
Hanger's in the very first of the clip, but I didn't remember seeing him get
His phone disappeared. Yeah, their phones all disappeared.
Okay, I didn't. Whatever, I missed that.
Yeah, and then all the elite just disappeared. So, and then AEW disappeared. So I wonder if they're going to come back, not necessarily as the elite, but as something different. What do you think?
I think that okay, so the elite gimmick, for those of you who aren't the most wrestling historian focused, the elite was an offshoot done by Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Marty Scurll originally from the Bullet Club. That
Mm-hmm.
they were better than the rest of the people in the Bullet Club. And that's how it's like they had that when they beat out AJ Styles when he was going to WWE, and they were in their own thing. They were in because the rest of the Bullet Club, Tama Tonga and all them, they weren't down with that beat out, but they were part of their own thing. They were the elite, so they were Bullet Club but better. That's where elite started. Thus the term for all elite wrestling, because the elite were the one. Anyway, I think the elite gimmick, and I thought this for a while, honestly. I think it's well past due to move past the elite gimmick. Okay? It's no longer needed to define the company. Maybe that's why they included the logo being faded out on a lot of stuff when they were doing this. I don't know. I'm surmising. But at the very beginning, it was because they were the ones who founded it. That's why they were front and center on everything, right? They were the noticeable faces. The three of them, Cody Rhodes, who was part of the elite, they were the elite, right? And they were it's not needed anymore. You got MJF. I mean, you brought in Jericho and Mox, right? But you got MJF, you got Sammy Guevara, you got, the rest of the Blackpool Combat Club, Britt Baker, all this stuff, who aren't the elites are the ones who have just as much star power, if not more in some cases. So I think it's time for them to get past the elite moniker for sure. I mean, they can still have that connection between the three of them, but Kenny needs to be Kenny the cleaner. And the Young Bucks need to be the Young Bucks by themselves.
So you think they're going to come back not together?
Not as a trio together, no.
Oh, I think they do. Because
Okay.
they need to address, when they come back, people are going to want them to talk. They're going to talk about how they got stripped of their titles. And then they have to make some kind of historic run to come back, start from the bottom, and come back all the way to the top together. But is it as the elite? They're no longer elite, is probably what they're going to say. They're
Okay.
just three dudes, They have to earn their elite status.
Yeah. So I'm with you on that, but I don't think that it needs to come back and go into that. Like, it's not about the trios titles, okay? It really is not, especially because Kenny Omega needs to be on that top line.
Oh, he does.
If he's healthy, he'll be on that top line. I think, but I agree. I think what you said is wonderful. I think that it makes the most sense. Also, maybe I'm reading too much into this and thinking, too far outside the box on Fantasy Booking Island. But I think a better thing would be for them to come back very similarly. But it's like, we did this all happened, whatever. The past is the past. We need to focus on what's important. Kenny's like, you're right. I need to do this for myself. I need to get my title back. I need to do this for myself. He goes off on his own. And the Bucks are, we need to do what we do best. That's why I think that they'll still be affiliates. They're never going to be like at each other, again. But I think like that they'll be individualized.
Yeah.
Either way, though.
I think when they come back, they're going to come back to a hero's welcome.
Oh, they absolutely will, no matter how it is, 100%.
Because how everything is, so they'll come back as faces. They will say that we need to right the wrongs, fix the things, so that they'll reconcile with Hanger officially, and Hanger will be a part of their group again. And then they have to earn being.
Well, we don't know.
Again.
We don't know how long Hanger will be out.
Yeah, well, I mean, it wasn't a severe concussion, thank God.
True, but Adam Cole's been on the bench for how many months?
Well, his was severe.
He is severe, and his was multiple too. So yes.
Yeah. So I mean, Hanger will be back before, hopefully not too long. But yeah, no, I see them coming back. I see that this is how they're going to do it. They're going to have to earn their elite status. I feel like that makes a lot of sense for them. It just feels right. Like, it feels right that they come back. Like, that Drake, like the Drake song, we started at the bottom, now we're here. Like, they're going to start at the bottom.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good idea no matter what. I just, personally, I don't need to. I would like to see them not fall back into the laurel of the group,
Oh, they're still going to do their own thing.
I don't think they need to be part of, the group
They
together.
just got each other's back.
And I say, even if they go their own separate way, I think they'll still be that, right? They'll still be that way. I just don't think they, whatever. I'm not sure. All I know is that I can envision Full Gear happens, lights go out, or no, Full Gear happens, MJF wins the title, right? And, he gets the belt, he does all this, and, maybe he does it somewhat clean-ish.
In his own words.
I'm backtracking on my him face statement hard. Absolutely backtracking. But no, and afterwards he, or it's like he reveals like an even bigger swerve, and it's the biggest, heeliest thing, whatever. And he's gloating and celebrating and talking to all this ruckus, and then lights go out. And then you get the, best bout machine coming in and stare down, and the place explodes. Because
I'm in.
Yeah, that's the next thing. I think that's the next thing you do, for sure. And the Bucks,
I'd like for them to start. Yeah, I'd like for them to start at the bottom. It also help with the guys too. Because
I think it would help. You're right. Yeah, they had gotten, the whole like EVP dressing room, and yeah, well,
it would help. I don't know. We'll see. I like your idea though. I think your idea is kick ass. I'm in.
We shall see. So the report was that they were actually backstage, like you talked about. They were yesterday. It said they were going to be back to work imminently, which meant in a backstage capacity, right? This is the first time we actually saw them and heard their names. And in the promo, you heard them talking, but talking Kenny, Matt, Nick. It was the first time we've heard any of their names, other than in passing, talking a little bit of history, JR and, Excalibur and whatnot here and there, right? On Dynamite. So, well, they've gone past the legal stuff is what it sounds like.
Sounds like it. Sounds like they're coming back imminently. So hopefully it is the 19th, which the funny thing about the 19th, Megan has a showcase camp that day.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, yeah, I think like 11 schools are going to be there, so that's going to be great.
You can't miss that.
No, as much as that page, you definitely can't miss it.
Well, is that just that day, or is it a weekend thing, or?
No, it's just that day. It's from starts at 8, gets over at 3. And then they have one-on-one conversations with all the girls. Like, the schools have the opportunity up until 5.
Okay, so you'll probably be out by 5
ish. Yeah,
6, 7. You could get
Pittsburgh,
back
Kansas is
close to the start. No,
yeah, we'll see.
What is Pittsburgh, like 3 hours?
No, it's only about 2.
About 2 hours.
2.5. About 2.5.
Yeah, if you go fast, if she has the right conversations, if she has the right conversations first, you might be able to get out of there and get back for the start.
Well, 2 of her top 10 schools are going to be there, so she just wants to talk to them. I mean, I already know some of those schools will probably want to talk to her, but it's like, are you close enough for her? But I told her, like, don't turn down a conversation right now. Just talk to them all.
Yeah, if anybody wants to talk to you, go for it. If Mizzou wants to talk to you, go for it. Even though you hate Mizzou, it's like, hey, you still need to talk.
I would wear black and yellow.
Hey, Larissa Alexander's a hell of a coach. Just saying. Larissa Anderson, whatever. Anywho,
yeah. Anyway, digressing.
We're totally off topic.
Speaking of amazing, let's speak of amazing. Can we talk about that number one contenders match for the AEW Tag Team Championships?
That was good. That was really good.
FTR and Swerve in Our Glory.
That was
that
so
match,
good. And
like, even had some mess ups. Like, Swerve, like, he was supposed to do the crossbody off the second rope, slipped, and found a way to use the bottom rope really quick, like cat-like, to do a crossbody from there on the ground. They were able to do the reverse that they were originally going to do with that mess up in a split second. Like, that is impressive as hell to me.
The 4 men in that ring are 4 of the best that there are right now. Plus, the crowd was all about it, of course, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the Acclaimed came out, biggest pop of the night, right? Again, as always. On the ramp with chairs, you had the Ass Boys front row dressed as cosplaying as, FTR to get under their skin. And all of that together played in. I would have loved to have been in the building for that match.
Same.
Because that atmosphere and everybody's playing their part. Like, the Acclaimed didn't come out and try and rap and steal it from, whatever. You got just enough ass boyage, to kind of like prove their worth, right? They're not being forced down our throats, and the match was great. Everybody had their spot. Everybody did the thing. You had Keith Lee he leapfrogged both of the FTR members at the same time.
That was sick. That was so sick.
I've never seen him do 2 guys at once. And that's not a statement that I think we need to clip. Okay. But sorry. I didn't.
I mean, he did get superplexed. He did get a big rig. Like, dude, like,
the man is amazing.
Keith Lee. Yeah, Keith Lee sold.
Lee.
Well, the Guns did officially get into some hijinks towards the end to allow Lee to hit the big bang on Harwood for the win. And then hell broke loose.
Well, they were holding back, cash and low blow, not seen, everything about this match though was done fantastic from start to finish, inside, outside. I loved every second of this.
Yeah. The Bryan Danielson Sammy Guevara match was fine. It was good. It was solid. Like,
every match was fantastic. Like I said, that was a little more technical.
Yeah.
But it was very well done. Like you'd expect.
It was the most technical I've ever seen Sammy be.
Exactly.
Still
in the best way though. And yeah, it was.
Yeah. It was still good.
As much as we hate Sammy can perform like a son of a
bitch. Yeah, he can. He's got X-Pac heat. So I do want to talk about MJF's promo.
Okay, so MJF's promo kind of ties in the main event. The main event I don't want to get too much into, even though it's Penta's first ever shot at a singles title in AEW, which is criminal.
He showed out.
Yeah.
Criminal
that statement came out of my mouth.
He's so goddamn good.
He's so good. And I mean, Penta, Jon Moxley, it was the match we thought we were going to get between the two of them. It was fantastic.
Yeah. It was everything and then some that you wanted, like, for real. Like, it was just so damn good. So Moxley retains.
We're not mixing hairs here. Moxley retains. So MJF stuff, let's get into that because that ties into the post-match plus from earlier. Go.
So MJF gave a very solid tweener, very, very tweener.
Very tweener.
Promo. Like, hey, how are my devil worshippers doing? And everyone's like, yeah. And I love they had Renee there, and he did the Jon Moxley impersonation in front of Renee, and she held it together, which is quite impressive.
And he keeps going, no offense, Renee, no offense, but, and then says something. And
Yeah,
like,
and she's like, you can't say that. No offense, shut up, or something like that. Yeah, it was so good. But yeah, like he was just going on and on about at Full Gear he's gonna earn it, but he's like, you know what I said I was gonna earn it. Maybe you just went over thing. It's like I'm still me.
yeah, he's
Like
like,
I'm still MJF.
you know, I said 100% clean. I mean, mostly, right? Come on,
Mostly.
guys.
This is me. Like he was very self-aware in that moment, which I loved. He's like, I'm MJF. I'm gonna do these things. Then he's like, I'm not gonna use my ring. I'm not gonna use my ring. So he's gonna use brass knucks.
He's gonna
Calling it
use
now.
brass knuckles 100%.
But he's gonna win. Like I feel like that is the least
It's
kept
gotta
secret.
happen. It's gotta happen.
But Stokely Hathaway comes out while he's talking,
Mhm.
and he starts to berate Stokely a little bit, and he's like, you know, I want him at 100%. If you touch him, you're fired. Pin.
So after the match with Moxley and Penta, out comes W. Morrissey. Big boot. Here's the whole firm. There's beating the living shit out of Jon Moxley in the middle of the ring. Stokely comes out, sits on the turnbuckle there, enjoying his work. And then you get MJF come out, take his coat off, double back and go back into the tunnel. And they're beating him up more. And then MJF runs out to the ring, gets in the middle, breaks them all up. What'd I tell you? That you're fired, right? And Ethan Page annihilates MJF.
Oh my god, dude. that kick to his face was so
Ooh,
good.
Judo kick.
Like, holy shit.
It's great to see Ethan Page.
Yeah, and then Ethan got to him with the Ego's Edge.
Ego's Edge.
I love that. Like that match.
So good.
That move is perfect. Like if MJF could learn something other than the Heat Seeker, you know, that'd be a good one for him to learn. Or a stunner. But anyway,
so
he
he
starts
gets
attacking him. Yeah, go ahead.
He beat his ass up, chokeslam him through a table to end the broadcast. Boom, there you go. Right. So biggest work of all time, or biggest work of this storyline, you know, that they're going to end up helping him win. Or you've now got two complete total tweeners going at it. You've got a face tweener and a heel tweener, but they're right now, because I mean Moxley's face, except for what he does, the things he does are not face things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and MJF's heel, except he's acting like a face, right?
Yeah, he's such a heel. He's so
Such
good
a heel.
turn. Oh yeah.
I think he's going to turn. I think it's going to be a big turn. It's going to be a big surprise. Swerve something, this and that, but it's going to, one way or another, though, right now, 3 weeks out, they're both seemingly by themselves. Well, we know Moxley is. I mean, Blackpool Combat Club, sure, right, but we know Moxley is. MJF appears to be by himself. We'll see what happens. This is the setup, man. This is how we do it. So I think that overall, the whole show, like you said, didn't miss a beat.
So good.
And they got brushstrokes set up here for All Out. No, Full Gear. All Out's a bit further away.
A little bit away.
Any other thoughts you had about MJF or the
No.
episode, or?
I don't think so, man. Like it was a hell of a show. I feel like they set up a lot of things without necessarily setting up things, like making it super obvious. Like, I want to fight you, you know, like that kind of crap. Like they're just laying the seeds like it should be done. Like they're telling a story, and they're getting better at it. They are finally getting better at telling a story.
Yeah.
I feel like with William Regal and some of these other people that are helping out, they're able to tell stories better. and it's great. They have solid locker room leadership going on right now. Like it's a good time to be a wrestling fan right now. Lots of
Yeah.
good things.
I think it's fantastic. So I'm excited to see where this all takes us. I'm excited to see what the Elite's return will look like. I wasn't excited to hear about poor old Larry.
Larry Steve.
The casualty in all of this, CM Punk's dog, who Kenny Omega got bit trying to save in the middle of a fight, had 2 teeth that had to be like removed because they got banged up in the middle of the fracas. Go figure. So I blame Ace Steel.
Okay.
I don't know, because who else? I mean, yeah. Well, he's not with the company anymore. Who cares, right? All right. So we're going to be back next week. We got, what Glory Pro, like I said, this Sunday. If you guys are in St. Louis, close to St. Louis, you want to go to a matinee show, come check it out. I think tickets are still available. Just look up Glory Pro. You could definitely find them on fight.tv. I think once again, I believe it's like $5. It's real simple. So your team has a bye week this week, or if your team's playing the only undefeated team less in the season, you'd rather watch something a little more productive, definitely could check out Glory Pro this Sunday.
That's fair.
But we'll be back next week to let you know how that all went. Talk a little bit more about WoW. We're really getting into WoW. Definitely loving some WoW. And let's see where this goes here. So, Jamie, do you have anything else for our wonderful viewers?
No. Everybody, just keep being cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. We do appreciate it. We will see you next week. Take us home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not down Total Spotfest, I have 3 words for you. Happy Halloween, everybody.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
Peace.